broadcasting from the heart of Montreal, where we dare talk all things agile, conscious leadership, and freedom lifestyle for entrepreneurs you won't hear elsewhere. Here's your host, Alexander Frederick Joly, known as Coach AF.
Hello. Yes, it's Coach AF with you today, the last Friday of February. So this is the time for the 66. Yes, 66. I weigh 66 for the Real Agile podcasts ever since April, May of 2020. Back in my exile in Tulum, in Cancun. So how are you today on this beautiful... Are we recording? Yes, we do. So this is a fake life, authentically, because I'm busy like hell right now, but I'm very happy to be busy. And today, AI everywhere. Yes, apparently artificial intelligence is everywhere. It's the big buzzword on top of the other A-word buzzword of Agile. So we're going to talk about this and this episode 66 of the Real Agile. This is about what, my friend, you're going to say? It's two things. It's AI for Scrum Master micro certification. Then I'm going to do a review with potential benefits, limitation, and concern, and my final thought on it. But we're going to deep dive also because I do believe that AI and Agile are two fracking buzzwords right now. And the question that I ask you, and you could comment for those who are watching live on LinkedIn, Linked Out, YouTube, and Rumble this Friday, noon Eastern Time. And for those who are on the podcast, please send me a message to answer that question. Are micro certifications worth it? Because, today we are diving into that hot buzz topic of AI and Agile and also project management. Yes, because apparently the counter-revolution of the project management, it's coming back to us. Isn't it incredible to have this kind of old thing coming back to us right now? So I'm wondering, when I look at myself, who often criticize the inflation of certification, and look at me. Oops, maybe there's something wrong here. Again, I'm doing it live, even if I'm not necessarily live. Oh my goodness. User experience. Here it is. So can you imagine that? Look at that. Inflation of certification. But I like to please some of my customer. And we have to admit one thing. Most of these certification, I did it for real and group, live, in person. The networking, it's very awesome. The learning experience is very awesome. It's not just for the paper. It's not just for the certification. But look at me. Look at me who's talking about inflation of certification. I started doing Scrum at the fall of 1999. As you could see here, the CSM right here, I achieved it in 2016 because Mike Beadle was pressuring me to be certified. And actually, I say Mike Beadle. Mostly the market, especially the Montreal market. Then after I went through advanced CSM, oh my God, because CSM is not enough. But it's like Scrum Org. They do PSM 1, 2, 3. So it's the same kind of shit. ACSM, it's like the equivalent of a PSM 2. And then after I did the Certified Scrum Professional for Scrum Master. Then later I embarked with Evelyn Tian, that I salute, Scrum Alliance, CAL-EF, which means Certified Agile Leadership for Enterprise. Certified Agile Leadership for Organization, isn't it? And Certified Agile Leadership for Team. And of course, the only one that they kept right now is the I'm a Certified Agile Leadership. Oh my goodness. Isn't it amazing? So that's that for my inflation of certification. And I miss the greatest one that Mike Beadle grant me. I forget to put it there. It's the Certified Business Agility Coach. In 2018, just a couple of months, actually weeks before he passed away. It's going to be like, we're right in the time. And that was kind of amazing when I think back about it, because I was the first Canadian to be certified Enterprise Scrum for Business Agility. The real thing, the real revolution, it's about business agility and customer experience. That's have nothing to do with the IT stuff, anything. So let's dive deep into it. Oh, and let me show you. I'm so proud of this micro certification. Here it is. Isn't it beautiful? The certificate verifies that Alexandre Frédéric Joly completed the AI for Scrum Master course early this month, February. Yeah. Am I hot or not? And we're going to see how hot I am, if I am. And before doing my review that I also share with Scrum Alliance, let's see AI role in Agile and project management. So you have to understand that AI is not replacing us like a lot of people thought. When I was at PMI Ottawa last fall, we talked about it. It's here to enhance how we work and how we work together. See it as a tool, especially the generative AI, the large language program, and so on and so on. So that's, for me, the most important thing to note here, okay? And segundo, AI's impact on this kind of agile consulting and project management delivery, and also, and I won't talk too much about it today, it's the product management. As I told you a couple of episodes ago, some of my client in Austin, Texas, for the product owner proxy, they removed it and they replaced it by a GPT of their own with their database within Atlassian product and everything. So the AI does a better job and data analytic to prioritize the backlog, to clean the backlog, to make the job easier for the developer and the engineer. So this is where we are. If you don't pay attention, I will guess like in 3-5 years from now, like at the end of this decade, in English, you might find yourself in big doo-doo if you are not start to angsting yourself with your HI, human intelligence, using AI as a great tool to impact this. Because automating workflows, predictive analytics, and decision-making assistance, it's already in for the project management delivery and for any kind of agile software delivery or agile business agility scaling. So have it in mind, guys. Also, the current reality versus the hype. Because as I am opening the show, we talked about it is the hype. It's a buzzword. Yes, it is. But we are now in the democratization of it. This is why ChatGPT, Claude 3.5, Gemini, Gork are very giving you a lot for free because they want us to adapt it for a mass adoption. And then the subscription will come. And some people like Gerald Salente of the Trends Journal that I salute predict a bubble like the dot-com bubble of 1999 towards the fall of this year. So by the end of this year, we might have a crash or a bubble burst on all the investment on AI, on the AI company, the AI stock exchange and everything. And then a few big one of them will survive, or those more organized, like probably OpenAI under the cup of Microsoft and all these big Stargate projects in the United States, and so on and so on. So, and the chasm will happen, and we'll see. And then the subscription will be a little bit more expensive, or the freebies using especially Gen AI for texting, video, completion of work, that thing, and the LLP will be surpassed to an integrated AI assistant. So that's my prediction for the next 3 years. With probably Gerald Salente is often right. He had predicted with Peter Schiff the fall of the mortgage crisis, followed by the big recession. So we might go there. So I sound maybe like depressing on this Friday, February the 28th, but have it in mind that I'm not neither negative or positive. I'm just trying to be realistic with trends Doesn't mean a trend will happen, but if it's a trend, and when we see that is these three repeat itself on different point, yes. So the .com and the web and the e-commerce of the late 1990s are exactly the same way with the blockchain also and the AI stuff that we are in right now. So, and some practical example of AI-driven tools like Jira AI. If I come back to Agile software delivery, Agile business scaling, and project management, you have ClickUp AI, Monday.com has its own AI, and Notion AI. So all of these tools, more and more, they have an embedded AI within their product to help you fasten some kind of workflows, some kind of facilitation into data analytic, and so on and so on. So that's really important to note that you have those embedded right now, and if you don't learn how to play with it, you'll be surpassed by a project manager or a Scrum Master that use those tools to get faster with their team. So they're going to deliver even faster than you could do with those techniques without AI or data analytic on steroid. So the key takeaways on the role in Agile and project management, Jeff Sutherland in 2019 predicted what happened right now. That if AI develop as a Gen AI, as it is, with Claude and ChatGPT, among other things, to help you literally, okay, drive those project management, those workflow, those product backlog management, and so on, even help you create better planning session with your team, better retrospective with your team, and so on and so on. So now we have the verge that as a Scrum Master or as a project manager, if you are not proposing value-driven for yourself using those enhancing tools to make it different, you'll be out of a job or out of contract. And this is exactly what happened. He predicted it well. And on top of it, that's mean that if the Scrum Master is assist, if I take the example of Scrum, project management, and product development, that means, guys, that the ratio that we used to have to provide quality and services, a leader who serve those teams of a producer, mean the ratio was 3. Now you could go up to 6, even 9, because you have those tools that help you. Okay, so the role in Agile and project management is affected by this. Okay, streamline the work, leadership and facilitation of human-driven have to remain human-driven. Leadership and facilitation will never be done by AI. Okay, what you need, it's specifically the role is redefined by those practical examples that all the tool, even MS Project, I think, have those AI embedded. So if you know how to use it, just for meetings, it's amazing that you don't have to take notes anymore. So you go back to my teacher, Mr. Kostakiev, who said those who take notes are dumb. So let the dummy AI do it for you and have the text and make your report. It's awesome. But your human-driven aspect to make sense will be required. Okay? So now, breaking down the certification itself that exists right now. So let's analyze the Scrum Alliance and the PMI AI micro certification. Are they game changer or just another badge, a buzzing badge? So I'll go with like 4 features: focus, depth, industry recognition, and real value. And we'll compare Scrum Alliance, AI for Scrum Master, and PMI, AI for Project Manager, shall we? So on the focus aspect, for Scrum Alliance, for its micro credential of AI for Scrum Master that I pass, not that easily, by the way, but I passed it. So AI and these diverse frameworks for delivery, projects and so on, especially if we use Scrum, Extreme Programming, pair programming, Kanban to develop your product. So the focus is really put into this. It's really for Scrum Master. That's why they call it AI for Scrum Master. So it's Scrum and Kanban, where you could actually use So the focus is really made onto this. As for PMI, they put the focus into the project planning and forecasting mostly. Okay, and you have to understand that it's an average 4 to 5 hours to learn, exercise, and create your prompt into Scrum Alliance. And the PMI one, it's about an hour only. So they're really, really focused. They don't even go through what other artifact of the PM bug that you might have. It's really focused on planning and forecasting using data analytic and large language programming. Okay. The second feature is depth. Depth is that certification that goes into the stuff. I realize that Scrum Alliance one is a lot more conceptual than the PMI one. The PMI one, it's slightly more a tool focus. In case of Scrum Alliance, they really go through, I will say, 60% on how conceptual could it be to all the 3 artifacts in Scrum, the 5 meeting, if you include the refinement, and also how to manage the backlog with data-driven application and prompt that you could ask, especially a private AI. Of course, I won't go into detail of what is an open source AI, a public AI, and a private AI, but you have to understand that if you start asking a Gen AI to help you do tabulation with scripting and everything with your customer data or some user data, you better have it in a private inside your workplace, then go to ChatGPT or Claude and to the open. So that's also one best feature from Scrum Alliance. They teach you how to be secure and confidentiality respect. Towards PMI, they don't even go about that, okay? Because they are more tool focused to do planning and forecasting. But forecasting could include data of your customers. So, boo, PMI, you don't pay attention to tell your audience about the importance, especially for Europe, of respecting the GPDR or the other kind of confidentiality agreement. The third feature, it's about industry recognition. So, of course, Scrum Alliance, it's probably the first body of, let's call it Agile or Scrum, to give it. And it's really a good one into all the Agile circles. And there was the first one. It's a paid one. It's about $90 Canadian right now with the rate. So it's and if you're a member of Scrum Alliance already, it's going to be like $75 US minus 15%. But I remember even as a member, it came out to my credit card as a Canadian about $91, $95. For PMI, it's free. You don't even have to be a member of PMI. You could go, you have to subscribe though. You have to give your credential, not your credential, but your name, address, and everything. But it's free. It's only an hour, 45 minutes. And is there recognition right now? It's recognized in traditional Agile PM stuff, but it's not that much. And you could see on LinkedIn those who brag to have their PMI AI for project manager, but it's so focused on planning and forecasting, I won't bet on it that your PM knows how to prompt for anything else than planning and forecasting, and they don't know the ethic and the human-driven aspect of it. That's Scrum Alliance. It's providing you 25% of the time of the 4 or 5 hours with Scrum Alliance. It's about being ethical. It's about no plagiarism. And it's about the human-driven and human touch that you have to put into it every time. Either you build a draft and you ask Gen AI to refine it. So that's the way of Scrum Alliance, AI for Scrum Master. PMI, they don't even go there to make any kind of set difference. So I will guess that as AI, it's a great innovation tool, such as Agile. I do believe, not the Agile you see in the community and the movement that doesn't know what they do, like Agile Alliance, but I mean the real concept of Agile, of agility. For me, it's still there to grow. The real revolution is business agility. So I do believe that Scrum Alliance, I'd get it for the industry recognition. It should be a good win for them. The real value now. As you hear me often talk about this inflation of certification. I do believe that, and I'm sorry, yes, I'm sick. It's winter here, so sorry for my voice if it's noisy a little bit. So the real value, it's a lack for Scrum Alliance. It's a lack of hands-on and AI application, because you read a lot of things, you see example, they give you cheat sheet with a lot of prompt, how to prompt everything for every segmentation, but as it's a micro credential, as is online, you do it whenever you want. You have to read it, it's timed, you have to watch some videos and stuff, but there's nothing hands-on. You don't do prompt by yourself. Of course, in my case, I did because I wanted to do this. And I already do it as a leader because there's certification in leadership. I'll talk to you about it later. So here you have it. But for PMI, it's even worse. They don't even offer you any practical insight for PM on how to use it. So at least you have example with Scrum Alliance, but it's not enough hands-on. So again, my question, and please comment below, are these micro certification worth it? Maybe. My answer, for PMI, it's not worth it because it's only focusing on planning and forecasting. They don't go into the ethical. It's only 45 minutes an hour. It's free. It's open to everyone, even non-member and non-certified people and other stuff. So it's just a buzz. This is just a buzz. Okay? Scrum Alliance, that's the maybe. Because they have more stuff. They have 25% of the course about the ethic, about the human touch, about the human resonance with it. So that's great. And they show you the conceptual way of using it as a tool and as even sometimes a team member, sort of. But they might not be the best way to future-proof your skills as a Scrum Master. So have it in mind. So, is there better ways to learn AI for Agile and PMI? So instead of chasing certificates and how you can really gain AI expertise, I do believe by my experience of the last 6-7 years, because I was lucky enough when I founded Agile Lounge at the Crew Collective here in Montreal, and the old Montreal, to have Envision AI that was there, and talking with some engineer that were working on these big LLP and other stuff. So I already started to have an understanding of the potential in the future. And the future is now, right now. So the alternative learning path that I do believe are more worth it than those two certifications from Scrum Alliance and PMI is probably any tool that you have, as I mentioned before, Jira for AI, Notion AI, ClickUp AI, any tool that you have to use as a PM or as an Agile coach, they have an AI. So learn from it by yourself and with your team member and try to refine what you want to do with your team. And it's always a team effort, especially if you're a Scrum Master, you know you are a leader who serve. So ask them what we can do with that, especially if it's embedded in Jira and Confluence. Okay, that's really important thing. So that's one thing to learn the path right away and practice. The second thing, I do believe it's a better way than those certification. It's the AI and decision making for Agile coaches or change manager. So learn the prompt engineering. Prompt engineering, it's very, very crucial that you understand that. You could have a lot of literature on that that's date from 5 years to up to now, the evolution of it. So you have to understand how to prompt engineering for anything that you do. Okay? And Scrum Alliance on that too. It's a big 20% chunk, and they give you a big drive, Google Drive folder with a lot of example or a lot of prompt that you could do. And when you're a podcaster like me, already Blueberry and PowerPress, they provide us also with prompt to create a better description of our podcast or our posting into different platforms. So the prompt engineering is the key. Learn it. Learn the 5 ways. I should have we have time? Let's do this. Let me show you if I find it easily. Sorry about this. Sign is it? It's very kick-ass. Is that the one? Yes, let's do this. Shall we? So let me give you a visual. Sorry for the audio podcaster who run with me right now. You won't be able to see it, but if you want to see it, come and subscribe to my YouTube and my Rumble channel. That's the best way to have the best experience. So, no, the screen. So here you have it for my those who visualize it. So you see the prompt engineering for these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 component, okay, to have an effective prompting, an effective prompt that will provide you great goodness, great result, great outcome from the Gen AI or from the assistant. So you have your first thing into the prompt, it's a goal. What is the goal? What do you want to ask AI to? Is it refining something? Is it writing something for you? Is it rewriting into a certain way or into another languages that you want something more perfect because you're not enough fluent in Spanish or so on? So the goal, what it is that you want AI to help you with. Then after, you have to give in the prompt a role to AI. You have to ask Claude to act as your marketing manager, to ask as your accountant, to ask as your data analyst, because in that sense, and the prompt section, when you ask the AI to act as, it will already trigger a way it's going to search in the database to provide you information, and also it will set the tone already on how it will act for the answer or for the build-up of it. And of course, you have to provide context. So that's probably the most long thing. In my case, what I like to do, especially with Claude 3.5, is I bring my draft text, my draft ideas of a thing, of a table, of an analytics, and so on. And when I ask him the goal is, please help me refine and produce that, act as my data analysis or my Agile coach or my product owner or whatever. Here's the context. So you have to put the context. You have to give the AI a couple of guidelines. Could be in point form, could be in key phrase, key feature. But you could also put your draft, like your Gribbish thing or your notes that you put there. Could be notes from a meeting that you recorded with a transcript and so on. So here you have it. Then what will be the action? So now you're specified from the goal. Okay? So now you ask to do something. Analyze this. Write this. Create that. Very specifically from as a someone and this context with that draft according to the goal that I want to achieve with you today. And of course, you have to specify the format. How would you like to have it delivery? Do you want it delivery in a Word document for a future PDF or a future presentation? Would you like to have it just to copy and paste into a Slack channel? What have you? Would you like to have a table, a summary table? So the format will be very important at the end of your prompt. So you see, guys, that is a way to learn because it's something that you already do and you don't even realize it when you produce your own text. Now, what you do, it's instead of spending maybe 5-6 hours of doing a cross table and Excel and so on, you might just spend about 90 minutes to prompt engineering the AI that will provide you greatest thing. But when it's done, you're not done yet. You have to read it. Not just copy and paste it and send it to an email or be ready for your meeting with whatever presentation you ask AI. No. You have to put the human drive into it and put your HI, your human intelligence into it and make sure that you clean the stuff and you be careful also. And this is another good plus from Scrum Alliance certification compared to PMI. So they provide you also a way to avoid bias, a way to avoid ghost writing, and so on, and all the mistake or the kind of what we call right now the large language illusion of an AI. Okay? So right now, the best online course that you could take without certification, but still that you could do it online at your own rhythm, is the MIT AI Strategy course and IBM's AI for PM. I heard that from some of my colleagues who are more into the classical project management aspect. So they go for, I think it's about an equivalent of 5 days that you do it online. So IBM's AI for PMs, it's way better than the PMI one that they have already. And apparently also for the creative people and the video caster and so on, Google AI, it's a great way to learn the prompt engineering. But MIT AI Strategy, if you're a leader, if you're a business owner, and you want to learn prompt engineering, ethical aspect, the human intelligence that you put on top of it to verify bias and everything, I do believe that the MIT AI Strategy training is the best way to go to learn it. And of course, the best part, which I do for the last 6 years, and I'm even do it more nowadays, it's experiment and innovate with it. Use non-code AI tools like Cloud to automate your workflow. For example, you could have a Zapier. Zapier AI will help you do it. So don't code. If you're a programmer, maybe you want to put some script, some line into it, and ask the channel. That's okay. But experiment and innovate according to your proficiency, and use most as possible non-code AI tools to help you achieve whatever you want to achieve, and experiment with the prompt and everything. So instead of adding another badge or another letter next to your name on LinkedIn, maybe a real AI skills that give you competitive edge into your field of work, it's a lot better. Okay, so that's my takeaway on that part. And finally, let's have a call to action, shall we? What's your take on it? Have you taken yourself an AI micro certification or any other course that I mentioned in this episode? Do you see AI as a game changer for agile delivery or classical project management or even product management and development? So comment below or DM me on LinkedIn or on my website if you're listening to Spotify or Apple Podcasts right now. And please don't forget to subscribe for more episodes on business agility, AI innovative ways of using it, digital transformation, freedom lifestyle, and everything. I'm here for you every last Friday of the month for the Dare Real Agile podcast for entrepreneur, conscious leader, and so on. And remember who you truly are. You are wonderful. You are powerful. You could be whoever you wanted to be and do whatever you wanted to do. It's your story. You're the director of your story. And let's do it in respect of one another. On that, happy weekend and see you next month for a surprise topic. Unless you tell me in the comment or you DM me what would you like me to cover into this world of work that's changing very fast. Cheers.